Today on South African Youth Unlimited, we are in conversation with actors and actresses who were part of the drama series HEIST. So HEIST is directed and written by Nikiwe, and it was inspired by the mysterious heist that took place at the Justin Bieber concert in 2013. So sit with us and let's take a look at what is happening here tonight, as well as what the actors and actresses have to say about their experience on the show, and perhaps some industry insights that could be useful to you as a young person today. Enjoy. Hi Phumeza, welcome to South African Youth Unlimited.
Yeah, for having me.
Yes, so Sisi, when you're part of the cast of HEIST and you play Tembi, who is Mark's long-term girlfriend. How was it? Can you take us through the journey?
It's been fun. It's a very emotional role, something that I haven't really done. I've done other roles, but they didn't demand emotionally like this role. She's a woman who is full of heart. She really loves her boyfriend, but at the end of the day, she's got to try and survive with her son, so she ends up doing other stuff, as you'll see in the story. But I love the role. I think it relates to every South African on the streets. It's a South African story.
Yeah, and I mean, part of your journey throughout the story is that you lost your job, and you then being involved with Mark was also in the interest of your son. And when you say that it relates to a South African story, did that in any way make you think differently towards what other South African citizens could be facing?
Yeah, look, I mean, I've always been in a position of don't ever, just as a person in general, don't ever judge another person unless if you've been in that situation, because I was now with a situation. Like you said, she becomes involved with Keith to survive, and she leaves Mark because Mark is always trying to hustle, and she's like, I ain't got time for that, okay? So, I mean, it relates. I think it happens to a lot of South African women, you know. You end up finding some guy with money and you're trying to survive. Really, it's not even about love, but it's really just about surviving. And I think the fact that I was offered that role, I was like, bring it on, because, you know, you end up being typecasted, and it's good to get into different roles as an actress.
Yes.
So I really, really loved the challenge, yeah.
And I mean, for you as an actress, to immerse yourself in that character, did you ever feel certain strains or challenges? You know, because I mean, it must have been out of character as well.
Yeah.
For you, how was that?
Sure, it did take a lot from when you leave set on a daily, you'd feel so down because you literally had to cry the whole day or whatever. That's really what has been for me the most challenging, because I never imagined it would take so much, you know, to have to put yourself in Tembi's shoes and to go through everything that she goes through in the story, and to literally have, you know, because of the pressures that you put on this person and you leave them, they end up doing things that you would have never imagined they would do. So it ends up turning, you know, the story keeps turning and turning and turning. I love the storyline personally. I think it's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, for any young South African woman who's out there who's an aspiring actress and would want to find their feet within the entertainment industry, is it something that you would advise in terms of how they go about it, who to talk to, how do they do it?
Yeah. Look, I think in terms of it's very important to know who you are as a person, to know what you want, where you're going, because a lot of time, it doesn't matter if you're an actress, singer, female DJ, whatever, we all come across the same challenges of whatever. Not everyone is like that. Most people are not like that, but some people will want certain things for you to get a job. It doesn't work like that. You have to audition. Normal process, it's either you qualify for the job or not. There's no other way to qualify for the job.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first thing I want to stress, to say, if you know who you are and you're grounded, then when you come across, because you will come across it, those sort of challenges, then you'll know to say, you know what, it's cool. I'll just follow another avenue and I'll get the job that I want. In terms of roles, Yes, I think it's important to know what you would like to portray as an actress. Maybe you just want to act. You go for everything. That's cool. Maybe there's certain roles that you want to play. You don't want to play a prostitute. You want to play something. I think it depends according to umuntu, but it's very important to know who's when then everything else will fall into place. If you want to be famous or whatever, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And go to school. It's important. I know
Yes.
it sounds boring, but it's true.
Go to school, go to school. And I mean, perhaps in closing as well, knowing what you know from your experience of moving from Umak and then being with Keith, because Keith, you know, uyakhereza, uyakutholela leyo mali that you can provide for your son. Relating that to a South African situation, you know, would you advise it? How would you advise someone who would be in that situation knowing what you know today?
It's not worth it, hey? It's really not worth it. I think moral of the story is money doesn't solve your problems. Instead, it gets you into more trouble. What's important about life is that we're here to love, to share love as people. Once you're gone, everything material is staying behind. But what keeps you alive is the memories that you create. So it's important that when you do find that person, because Mark and Tembi are really in love. They really love each other. They do, sincerely so. But because of little things that happen, they end up, you know, being separated and nasty things happen that were absolutely unnecessary. So, through thick and thin, you stick with your man because eventually kuzodlula. But you know, as women, sometimes you're not that patient.
Yes,
you know, and
yes.
it's a lesson, man. It happens to everyone. And I guess if you are meant to go through that journey, you're going to go through it, you know, so that now also cooler as a woman, you know.
Yes.
But I think the story, just the whole cast in general, it's really going to relate to every South African is going to find themselves in one of the characters there. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your
having me.
time and all the best with what the journey will offer you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Because